If you're hungry for songbirds and snakes, whatever that means, then we've got you covered this week along with 4 other delicious picks. Along with the return of the Hunger Games franchise, we've got the return of the Godzilla franchise, the return of the Scott Pilgrim franchise, the return of a royally popular Netflix franchise, and the return of the Trolls franchise. I'm sensing a theme. For you? Whatever. That's all coming up on this week's What to Watch.
There has been a change this year. As a mentor, Mr. Snow, your role is to turn these children into spectacles, not survivors.
Arriving in theaters is The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. That's right, the franchise is back on the big screen for the first time in 8 years after Jennifer Lawrence starred in 4 movies, ending with Mockingjay Part 2 in 2015. That's reason number 1 to check this one out. The second is that this movie is once again based on Suzanne Collins' novel, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, naturally, which is a prequel to The Hunger Games and set 64 years before the events of the first film. It chronicles how the character Coriolanus Snow got on a course for tyranny. And while it's an all-new cast for this 5th installment, that cast has some great names in its own right and is good enough for reason 3. I'm talking Rachel Zegler, Peter Dinklage, Viola Davis, and Jason Schwartzman, to name a few.
When the whole city was coming down, these guys were taking pictures, like they'd been waiting for it.
Smashing and crashing its way onto Apple TV Plus is the new series Monarch Legacy of Monsters. The first reason to check this one out is that it's based in the world of Godzilla. In fact, it follows the events of the 2014 Godzilla movie and features an organization that encounters Godzilla and other big monsters called Titans. And while the cast includes talented folks like Kiersey Clemons and John Goodman, the real second reason to watch Monarch Legacy of Monsters is that it's a family affair, as in Kurt Russell and his son Wyatt Russell. Both star as older and younger versions of the same character, something the critics' consensus says works like a charm. The third reason to watch is the strong talent behind the scenes, with creator Chris Black coming from shows like Desperate Housewives, Star Trek Enterprise, and Xena Warrior Princess. Plus, we know the first 2 episodes were directed by Matt Shakman, whose resume includes Fargo, Game of Thrones, WandaVision, and the upcoming Fantastic Four movie.
It's time to wake up, dude.
I had a dream about that girl again.
I didn't care the first time you told me. Care even less now.
Another streaming option for you this week is the new series Scott Pilgrim Takes Off on Netflix. Once again, based on the graphic novels by Brian Lee O'Malley, who also helped develop the series, the first reason to tune in is that it's now gone from graphic novel to live-action film to anime series. How cool is that? Even cooler, and this is reason 2, is that the entire cast from the 2010 film Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is reprising their roles for this. If you need a refresher, that includes Michael Cera as Scott Pilgrim, plus Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Kieran Culkin, Chris Evans, Anna Kendrick, Brie Larson, Aubrey Plaza, and so many more. And speaking of that 2010 flick, that last reason to give this one a try is that the movie, much like the graphic novels themselves, was a certified fresh hit with a strong audience score. And so with the same cast and creator, no reason why this can't be loved by all. Am I right?
Don't really understand how I ended up here. Dashing around. And losing sight of myself in the process.
Another Netflix option for you this week is the return of the drama series The Crown. First up, the main reason to check out this dramatic take on real events is that it marks the 6th and final season of the show, which will be released in 2 parts, with 4 episodes now and the final 6 in a few weeks. Another reason is that the final season is expected to cover topics like the deaths of Princess Diana and the Queen Mother, the early days of William and Kate, and the premiership of Tony Blair. Bring on all the drama. The last reason to try on this Crown is that the previous 5 fresh seasons have all done well with critics, with 4 of the 5 coming in certified fresh. Not to mention it has a whole trophy room full of Emmys, including Outstanding Drama Series in 2021.
Baby Branch! I'm John Dory, Branch's brother.
What?
Ow! Former brother.
Bringing a splash, or perhaps a few truckloads, of bright colors to theaters is the animated flick Trolls Band Together. The first reason to sing along with this one is that the franchise is on a roll. The 2 previous films from 2016 and 2020 were popular with fans and critics. Not to mention they put out 2 different popular animated series on Netflix and Peacock in that time as well. The second reason to enjoy Trolls Band Together is just that. They're getting the band back together. Well, figuratively speaking. AKA, the core cast of stars Justin Timberlake and Anna Kendrick are returning, and they're joined by newcomers like Amy Schumer, Daveed Diggs, Kid Cudi, and Eric Andre. The third reason to check it out, and this is the big one, is that they're getting the band back together. Literally speaking too. That's because NSYNC has recorded an original song for the film, their first new track in 22 years. So I guess, bye bye bye. We're all headed to the theater. Well, that's it. 5 picks that will be sure to fill you up this week. We're on that Thanksgiving pregame. Be sure to let us and your fellow viewers know in the comments what you did check out, whether it was on this list or not. Remember to check out RottenTomatoes.com for the latest updates on scores and reviews for everything mentioned, as well as the movie and TV world at large. That's all for today, Fresh Family. Until next week, stay fresh.